Hello, good evening. How are you guys? Glad to see you guys today. All right, welcome to my page. I want to react to the current news trending since yesterday, Sunday, the 26th of July, the interview that was granted by Peter Obi. Now, I've watched all the clips, I've gone through the net to sample some opinions and views and expressions from different bloggers, um, and also the reaction from some of the major network, the IRIs, and then the Channel TV and other national network also. Just to sample an opinion towards that that interview. The reaction is neither here or there. Some are all in support of that. Mostly the obedience were all in support of that interview, and then some of the networks some of them were here and there in support, half negative. So I decided to wait till today to sample an opinion, and I'm going to give you my own opinion on that interview. I have a title for this particular interview, but before I give you guys the title of this particular interview, I want you guys to watch. Among all the bloggers, it's only one person that come close to what I'm thinking about, what my opinions are towards that particular interview. Only one person among all the bloggers have listened to, watch their videos, watch their clips, is only one, which is Aisha Yusuf, that stand close to the direction of my web opinion is going to be heading, and that's what I'm going to be addressing today. I'm going to play Aisha's video briefly for you guys to see what their own opinion towards that interview, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to also react to that particular interview with Peter Obi and Channel TV. So please, you guys should watch that video, and I'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. Mr. Peter Obi did an interview with Shehu yesterday, right? Being Sunday at 8 p.m. And it's honestly, for me, I just feel irritated by the whole thing. You understand? I really and absolutely feel irritated. Usually, when Peter Obi does his interviews and all of that, there's that excitement, see, and what is said, what is being said, Shehu, okay, the conversation, okay, what are the things. But I just, for this particular one, and I think maybe going forward, I'm going to have the same feeling. It's just a feeling of irritation, because what are we doing here? It's the same conversation again and again. I don't think there's any question that Shehu asked Peter Obi that has not already been asked. You understand? I don't think there's any question that we have not talked about. There wasn't anything new, because I tried to go through, usually for those of you of my Ovevekuve family, for those of you who are used to my channel and the way I report this, I would have picked up one or two things from inside of it and then be able to sit down and discuss it and all of that. And I'm going through, I'm not seeing any question that it's new, it's that we've not heard, or that we don't know the answer to. But we waste our times, and you see again and again and again, more pressure is being put on Peter Obi for him to be the one, to come out and talk to the people and say, what do you want to do with insecurity? What do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with that? But other candidates, nothing is being said about them. They're not coming out to do the interview. So looking at someone like Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former governor of Lagos State, who rigged the election and got himself sworn in. Nobody is asking him tough questions. He's not in front of the camera. He's not being judged. He's going about freely, doing his own business. And yet, the one person who cares, who has been out there, who is speaking to the people, is the one that more and more is needed from him, more and more needs to be. And it's not even about needed, but can you just ask questions that are different from what we've heard all this while? Can we have something that it's not about, okay, let me have it. Okay, so there's a way that questions are asked, and that they're trying to, okay, let's see if you can answer this. Sure, you said this the other day and whatever. And then all of a sudden, the very thing that they are picking, I saw Bayo and Anuga and a lot of APC talks, talking about the fact that, he said that all his commissioners are Muslims, or they were Muslims when he was when he was governor of Anambra State. Of course, how are all his commissioners going to be Muslim in a state that it's maybe 90 something percent Christians? He was referring to his police commissioners. And he has talked about this a lot of time, especially when these repeated lies keep coming up that, oh, he drove away Northerners from Anambra State and stuff like that. And he keeps saying that, look, apart from the first few months, before he went to go and get his commissioner of police, that all his commissioner of police were from the north, were Muslims. That how is he going to be driving away Northerners with them there, doing that whole process? And he has consistently said it's not from his place. Or that people were giving ID cards and all of that. But at the end of the day, these interviews just go on, and it's to relive and re-talk about the same old thing. Meanwhile, the nation is breaking away. The nation is being destroyed in front of us. Things are so bad. These are things we should be focused on. Hey, Nigerians, I don't think there's anything about Peter Obi that you need to know that you've not heard already. There are so many videos out there. There are so many of those things. Can we focus on the main issue of ensuring that we get this person into office and then we hold him accountable? We repeatedly do the same thing, and that's the behavior of people in an abusive relationship. Whenever you see anything good that comes to you or is going to take you out of the abusive...
I believe you guys have seen that video. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys my own reaction. I'm going to react to that particular video, and I'm going to touch in some areas. There are several areas I'm going to touch in that particular interview. To me, I'm not going to call it an interview. That's not an interview. All right, that is not an interview. I will title this particular video "A Political Suicide." Peter Obi's interview with Channel TV, a political suicide. And why did I call it a political suicide? It's a politics. In politics, the way you handle politics is not the way like everyday thought and reactions. When you want to play politics, especially the national politics, you have to do it professionally. You need some extra hands to guide you. Why do you think in North America, like the United States, Canada, some European countries, despite their enormous experience in democracy, once a candidate emerges, right from the day a candidate indicate interest seeking a public office or a particular office, they hire a professional campaign manager. No matter how experienced you are in politics, you still need an experienced campaign manager to guide you towards your candidacy. The campaign manager works with a team. Everybody, once you appoint a campaign manager, everybody falls under your campaign manager. Nothing goes out of your campaign or comes without your campaign manager approving it. It's like a chief of staff. All the staff in the presidency works under the chief of staffs. They report to the chief of staffs, and the chief of staff go to the presidency. Now, when you're a candidate, especially seeking the highest office in the land, you need to hire extra hand like a campaign manager that has their own team to guide you in shaping and modeling your policies and direction towards your campaign. There are a lot of mistakes in that interview. I wouldn't call it an interview. That's not an interview. That's an investigative interview. And before I start pointing out the errors I saw that interview, I want you guys to go and check, because we always copy America. I want you guys to go to the YouTube, do your research, and check the previous presidential debate or presidential interview with most of the networks, CNN, Fox News, ABC, CBC. Go and check. You can never see a candidate grant an interview for 2 hours in North America. Never done. It's a political suicide. To allow your candidate to go and sit in the national brokers for 2 hours Talking what? It's a political suicide. You see, in politics, there's something we call zingers. When they invite you for an interview, they're looking for zingers. You might misspoke or say something that many people don't understand. They just caught that clip. They just need that clip. Opponent is looking for that particular clip to run an ad on you, that this is what you said. They will not watch as supporters. Okay? They don't go and watch that complete interview to see what was the beginning of the sentence, what were you trying to explain before those called. You just cut that particular area and run it as a campaign strategy, and that can derail your campaign. So that is why it is not advisable for a candidate to go into an interview in a national network and sit down for 2 hours granting an interview. That's a political suicide. Now, let's come back to Peter Obi. Peter Obi has, this is the second time he's running for the national office. He is, no matter how experienced you are in politics in the state level, it's not the same thing in the national level. Peter Obi doesn't have that experience to run a national level politics campaign. State, yes. Local government, yes. When you are running a national level campaign, you are expanding the horizon. It involves a lot of things. You need extra hand like a campaign manager, a campaign team to guide you, to shape your policies, model it, and give you directions. When you have a campaign manager, you don't go to any state, visit any state for it. Your campaign are going to direct you where to go and what to say there. Every state, every region, every local government are not peculiar. They are different. So when you visit a state, your message in that particular region is not going to be the same thing in another state. That is why you need a campaign manager with their team to find out, because they have intelligence, they have gather most intelligence in that particular region, what is going on there. And then they will model your message to that particular state, what they're going to deliver, who to see. If you're a candidate, you don't just go and shake hands with anybody. Before anybody come close to you, they want to know who is that particular person. Because your campaign, your opposition party can take a picture, see you shaking hands with a murderer, or somebody who has a bad character. See, just that picture, they use it to run an ad against you. And that is why you need a campaign thing. Now, let me start pointing out the areas. What I feel that is wrong. If you want to grant an interview, if a network invites you for an interview, that is why in North America, most political teams, most political parties have their own media stations or media bloggers that align with their agenda and policies. Most Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal parties in North America, Canada, US, have their own media stations or media bloggers that align with them. And if a network that is inviting you for an interview, you don't just, first of all, that's why you need a campaign manager. They have to go to your campaign manager, not to you directly. That we're inviting, we need your candidate to appear in our stations. We want an interview. Can you grant us an interview? As a campaign manager, it is your duty to discuss place, time, the duration, what are the areas of the questions, and what are the payment terms. I'm going to come to the payment terms and tell you guys how it works. So when a network invite you for invite your candidate for an interview, you have to, as a campaign manager, you have to do a due diligence to find out that network, are they friendly network to your team, to your party, or are they friendly to the ruling party? Okay? All right? So you have to find out. Sorry, there's something I need to get out of here. So When a network, like for instance, a channel TV invite you, your candidate, for an interview, you find out about channel. Channel, are they friendly to opposition parties, or are they friendly, more closer to the APC party? We all know about channel TV. That channel TV are more aligning or friendly to APC than other opposition parties. Okay, I have a lot. I can give you guys reasons why I say channel television, they claim they are independent. They are not independent. They are more friendly to APC party candidates than the opposition parties. And that is why you see most of the ruling party candidates always troop to channel TV to grant an interview than going to Arise TV. Because in Arise TV, they are going to be grilled. In channel, they will give you friendly questions and I'll smooth things up, laugh it off, and I'll let you go. Now, if channel TV invites your candidate, you've established that you are going in a hot territory that are not friendly to opposition parties. So what are you going to say? Okay, channel TV, we've accepted your interview, but there are terms and conditions that you guys have to meet before I'll send my candidate to come to your station. Or where is the venue of the? Are you going to come to our office in a neutral ground, or are we coming to your station? Once you establish the place, the time of the interview, you set up the time and make sure the time is conducive with your candidate. Now, so you location, one, time of the interview, and then the third thing is, what is the duration of the interview? And they tell you 2 hours. He said, no. My candidate cannot come to your station and sit for 2 hours and grant an interview. No. It's a political suicide to walk into a national station and sit down there and grant an interview for 2 hours. You can derail your own campaign in there with a zinger. There's something called zinger line. By misspeaking, you misspeak, and the opposition is going to cut that clip and run an ad with it. You are exposing yourself to more scrutiny, thinking that you are doing yourself a favor. Not knowing that you are exposing yourself to more questions, holes, and to the party in general. So they tell you 2 hours, say no. I can only allow my candidate to sit in your station for 30 minutes or for the highest 30 minutes or 45 minutes interview with you guys. That's the highest I can grant. If you guys don't want it, fair enough. We'll cancel it. You as a campaign, they need your product in their station. So you are in control of the formalities of that particular interview as a campaign manager. So with two and forth and back, okay, they will say, okay, we'll settle for 45 minutes. Fine. So now you've settled for you've decided to choose a location which is satisfactory to both parties, the time of the interview, which is which suits your candidate and the station, and then the duration of the interview, 30 or 45 minutes. Now the fourth one is, we would like to have all the questions for this interview for 45 minutes so that we can screen those questions and select the question that we want and the modalities. It's doable, they do it. You have every right to demand the questions ahead of time because you are drawing a contract on that particular interview. Because why you want to see the questions, you want to stick to message and remove the frivolities where there are certain traps for you. Because most of these questions will be coming from the opposition, from the ruling party, because you don't know what they have against you and they're inviting you for an interview. They might have something there. They just want you to go and grant an interview to misrepresent with the fact they have. And then they will invite you for that they said something wrong or you did something wrong. And they say, because you don't know what the ruling party have in their end, that they don't have enough to nail you as a candidate. And you know that this session is more friendly to them than you. That is why you have to scrutinize, demand for all the questions. So if they say for 30 or 45 minutes, they have 20 questions, you say no. We can only allow 10 questions in that 30 or 45 minutes. So they will send you all the questions. You select those questions that you know that is sticking to the message of the interview with one follow-up. So, and then you say, okay, they give you all the questions. You must demand or they have to provide all the questions because you are drawing a contract. They supply you all the questions ahead of time. You scrutinize those questions and select the 10 that you feel that you want your candidate is going to answer in your party with one follow-up questions on each of those questions for 30 or 45 minutes interview. You send it back to them that this is the question that is going to be answered as on that particular interview. You have to go through. Sometimes they might come back and say, okay, this and that. But at the end of the day, you streamline the questions according to your needs and your candidate. Because you have to know, all right, you have to know the capability of your candidate in terms of oratory, answering questions. And we all know that P2B is intelligent, but in oratory, he's not good in oratory. When I say oratory, does not mean he cannot speak English. If you watch P2B's interview, most of the time when he's trying to speak, he stammers. There are different kinds of stammering, okay, in vocabularies or in verbatim. Okay, there are different kinds of stammer. P2B stammers. And again, if you watch P2B, when he asks him questions, especially when he's in that mood, he will talk, and then stop all in midway or stop and don't finish answering that question and he stops. So you wouldn't want to expose him to go and sit down there for 2 hours and keep talking and then he keeps stopping halfway or he don't finish giving the answers or he says something that most people are going to misunderstood him. So you have to know the capability of your candidate, and that is why you are making the interview short and also selecting the questions that you know that he can answer without going into details. And then rule out certain questions, like most of those questions that this guy asked me yesterday is unwarranted. There are certain questions that shouldn't have come in. But because both of you did not agree on modalities and the type of question, that's why the guy has a liberty to go everywhere and ask all kinds of questions. So you get the questions, streamline those questions. We only agreeing 10 questions for 30 or 45 minutes, with which question is going to have one follow-up. So now we've agreed for the location of the interview, time of the interview, all right, the duration of the interview, and also the questions. You select the questions, narrow it, and send it back to them. All right, and then the last one is the payment. Remember, your candidate is a product for sale for that station. They are going to make millions for that interview. Millions of people are going to watch that interview. They are going to make money, both from YouTube, Facebook, advertisement, all kinds of money. In North America, you pay the candidate to show up in your network to grant an interview. Because they're going to run ads. They have sponsors to run ad. If you watch, anytime P2B goes to network to grant an interview, they run more ads. Most of these multinational companies run ads when P2B is speaking because a lot of people watch him talk. If you watch yesterday, the channel run about 7 ads. No, I think I can count about 4 different ad channel run. And do you know how many millions they make in that ad? Not including YouTube money, Facebook money. You pay party for sending their candidate to grant an because you are a product for sale. You negotiate how much for that particular interview for 30 minutes. In North America, no candidate goes to a network to grant an interview without being paid. So you streamline all those things because you know the capability of your candidate to avoid all these frivolities, nonsense questions, and those zingers there. Because if you watch the question he was asking yesterday, he asked them in different directions, trying to push him to say certain things that many people are going to misunderstood. Sometimes you see P2B always cut him short and say, hey, don't go there because he push for you to say certain things. And sometimes People are looking at your reaction on the television. Because when he push, they want to see how you react. Can you be presidential enough to be calm? They're looking at your body language. But because these rules were not in place, and somebody walked into a national television to grant, sit down there, a presidential candidate sit down there for 2 hours to grant an interview, that's a political suicide. You could say one thing, and where P2B is not averse in knowledge, more is about the not. Now, when you guys have agreed on the modalities of that interview, and then the payment, both of you agree how much the party is going to get from that particular interview, the last thing is rehearsal. You as a campaign manager will know the question your candidate they're going to ask you and prepare him on those questions by doing mock interview rehearsal. They do it. You get somebody that speaks and act like Shehu, and find somewhere in an office and do mock rehearsal interview. If he asks you this question, this is what to say. Don't say more than that. If he come back with the follow-up questions, this is what to say. That is why you are there as a campaign team, a campaign manager, to shape his responses to questions, model his policies, model his presidential appearance. Okay? So, that's why yesterday when I was watching that interview, I was so irritated, annoyed. I couldn't even watch it all. I think I watched about 30 minutes. I see what the questions I had and I just shut it off. That is not an interview. Most of the questions, I can count about 5 questions that were from APC. In fact, he granted an interview with an APC about last week or 2 weeks ago about Lagos. Can he win Lagos again? Somebody from APC was in Channel Network last week and used the same word. And Shehu used that question again to ask him. So if you have streamed your questions ahead of time, you should have eliminated that question and stick to the point of national economy than asking you about your offshore account if you have declared. Those things are unworthy. But where I'm pissed is who authorized P2B to go and sit there for 2 hours and grant interview? Did you see? Have you guys see other presidential candidate granting interview? No. As a candidate, they have to package you. That's why you see they are packaging Tinubu, packaging Atiku. Have you ever seen other candidates rushing to network? Are you telling me they have not been invited to come? And they say no, they're not coming. P2B should not be seen. P2B have passed the stage. His popularity is everywhere. They know P2B very well. You don't need much popularity anymore. You shouldn't be seen granting interviews all the time. Okay? There is no any part of Nigeria that doesn't know P2B and Kwankwaso. The people that are supposed to be granting interview is like Atikus and other party candidates that are not known yet, are supposed to be rushing for an attention. For P2B, if I'm his campaign manager, he will never grant any interview. Never grant any interview. You only see him speak in campaign. And when he finishes speaking in campaign, maybe when he's stepping out of the campaign, you can ask him 1 or 2 questions. I can give you guys about 10 minutes or 20 minutes after the campaign. You can ask your questions. P2B have passed the stage of grant because his popularity, they've known him every corner. What P2B is supposed to be doing now is closing. You've done the introductory. You are now in the body of your politics, of your campaign. What you're supposed to be doing now is closing. Closing yourself, closing the product. What P2B is supposed to be doing now is going to the north where he knows he needs the vote and market himself, convince people, do town hall meetings, cross all corner of North with Kwankwaso, meeting people, convincing people to join the party. That is the challenge P2B has. People want to see him in the north. People want to ask him questions. He's supposed to be going to the north, going to all these clerics, answering questions, going to all these Hausa stations, assuring them, winning souls, doing campaigns, than going to a national TV and sit there for 2 hours. In that interview, you can say one thing that is wrong about not. Just by mistake, you misspoke. One person will drop you within a second. He'll drop you and say, no, I can't work with you anymore. Because you want to expose yourself. As a presidential candidate, you don't go and give them 2 hours of your time. Go and check American politics interview candidates. Go and check Canada, some of the Europe. You can never see a candidate sit in a network for 2 hours granting interviews. It's not done. The only place you can see a candidate stay 1 hour, more than 1 hour grant, is in their own media stations or bloggers that are friendly to the party. Every political party in North America have bloggers. Okay? They have bloggers. They have bloggers that are Democrat, that are Republican bloggers. Yes, you can go to your own blogger that are your own MPC and spend 1 hour, because that is where you want. They will give you friendly questions, try to paint you nice, give you time to express yourself, but not to unfriendly network that you know that is opposed to most of the opposition party. So when I listen to the views, I just want today I was in YouTube, Facebook, try to sample opinions and obedient bloggers. And you see how all of them are just saying, oh, P2B finishes here with it. You could see, I said these guys. I said this, most of them, you see, most of these people, you see most of these bloggers, call themselves obedient bloggers, most of them doesn't have PVC card. They are all using P2B to grow their page, make the money. Even when they see P2B is wrong, they cannot call him a spade is a spade. It's only Aisha that was thinking the way I'm thinking. That is not an interview. That is more of investigative interview. They are pushing him. P2B was defensive. He was defending himself. How can you invite somebody, a candidate, to an interview, and he's there almost all the time defending himself? So that is why you guys need a campaign manager. If you want to run a serious campaign, Obi say he don't share shishi, he doesn't give money, but let me advise you where to spend that money. Go and hire a very experienced campaign manager, have a campaign team to run you, to guide you. You need somebody to shape you that knows Nigerian politics, north, south, and east, to shape you, shape your message, direct you. P2B cannot be the campaign manager. You cannot be all. You need people to direct you. You need a media team. So when I saw that interview yesterday, I was kind of very furious. I watched that interview for 30 minutes and I just shut it off. I said, that's not an interview. That is never an interview. All right? So that is why I said, I'm going to make this video today and express my own opinion that P2B have to change his style of national politics. And I keep saying it. He might get to the door, but not to the seat. There are a few things that he has to put in place and fix. Okay? There are a few things that he has to... If you guys go, there's a video I did in my page about... I'm going to remember the title of that video. If you go to my page, I did say something there. The campaign that P2B is doing now can get into the door of Aso Rock, the gate, but not to the seat. You need to put one or two things in place to get to that seat. One, P2B is so soft. he's so soft, he's so quiet. He thinks that by speaking nice, by being gentle, can get you to that seat. Now, not in Nigerian politics. In Nigerian politics, you have to grab it, fight for grab it, and run for it. They don't say, hey, yes, go to my page, I say, power is not served to a la carte. Go to my page and watch that video. Power is not served a la carte. I want you guys to go to my page, watch that video. If P2B wants to be president of Nigeria, okay, you have to upgrade a little. You have to upgrade seriously to that to get there. The person you are contesting is coming with the Tomahawk missiles, and P2B is going with the machete. The person you are campaigning can sacrifice his son to get that power and remain there. If to sacrifice his son, the person in that seat will sacrifice his son to be in that seat. Will P2B do it? No. If you want to seek, especially Nigeria, if you want to seek the #1 office in Nigeria, your mind have to be at the back. This your mind, you have to put it at the back. Because you might have good intention, you might be fed up with the corruption in Nigeria, you might be fed up that enough is enough, but not the gentility cannot get you there. Let me give you guys an example. Ghana. Rawlings. You guys know Rawlings was a military man. Rawlings. Ghana was once more corrupt than Nigeria. In the 80s, Ghanaians were living in Nigeria. Their country was a corrupt on hell. Sodom and Gomorrah. More than Nigeria. It took one man to change Ghana to what it is today. Rawlings is like Obi, but he doesn't take it up. Rawlings have to clear all those bad eggs. When I say clear, was eliminate them and send them to their grave. Not to arrest you and let you go. Rawlings is fed up with the corruption, level of corruption. He came in there, wiped away all the corrupt leaders, politicians, send them to their grave, go in there, contest, change to politician, from military to civilian, and reset the country to what it is they are enjoying today. And that's why you see before he's dead, Rawlings can walk in the street of Ghana and nobody can say, oh, you kill this person, you kill this person. No. Because Ghana was going through hell then. Ghana was going through hell of corruption. It took one man to step on toes that nobody wanted to step. He cleared all of them, send them to their grave, that all these politicians now sit up and say, you know what? Enough is enough. So if P2B wants to grab that power, you got to step up. Even the way you talk is going to change. The way you talk is going to change. The way you walk on the street is going to change. Your opponents, by the mention of your name or whatever they are planning, they'll be trembling. Whatever INEC is planning, by the mention of your name and the way you talk, they'll be trembling. They'll think twice before they carry it out. Because they know that if they cross that line with you, there'll be a problem. So that is why I said, P2B have to strategize on how he does his campaign. The way he's doing it now, whoever that authorized P2B to go to that station and grant 2 hours interview, I'll fire that person immediately. I'll fire you. You won't come near him. I will fire you. So that's it. Because that is a political suicide. Do you imagine in that interview he misspoke, say something tiny, they will cut that small zinger line, APC will use it as a campaign advert. Not gone. You say, oh, is that what you mean? That is it. And you start going to explain, clarify what you mean. The damage has been done. That is why as a campaign manager, you don't allow 2 hours, 30 minutes or 45 minutes must be there, agreed upon, and then you see the questions ahead of time, especially if you are going to unfriendly stations. If you are going to friendly stations that they know you don't need, but on friendly stations, you need to see the questions, streamline the questions, select the questions, both of the network and the party have to agree. We want this question to be asked for 30 minutes and want one follow-up. If they don't want, that's it. Because your candidate is a product for the state for them to make money. Okay, you want to spend 2 hours in the charity. Do you know how many millions, billions they made yesterday? And your party doesn't have him, your party don't even get $1. That shows you that the way you play national politics, you got to get somebody that have the brain to direct you. How can I send my candidate to a channel TV and they were running ad? Do you know how many minutes to run 1 minute ad in a television? 1 minute ad. Do you know how, not even up to 1 minute, do you know how many millions you have to pay to run an ad, just 1 minute? Not including the YouTube money, Facebook money, other areas they are making money. And you allow your candidate to go to a national network, sit down there for 2 hours, making money for the channels, and you walk away there, thinking that you don't done well, and your party doesn't have any money. Who does that? All right. So that is. I said I'm going to share you guys my own thought of it. I wasn't happy about it. So from now going upwards, if you guys, this video, please share this video, let it get to him. Share this video to get to Randy Peters, Aisha, Dana, everybody, Idris Kabir, Idris, please share this video to reach P2OB, reach everybody, let them watch it. Okay? Share this video. Let this video reach them. Because there are certain things they are doing wrong. All right, so thank you guys very much, and then keep watching, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Stay blessed. If you have not subscribed to my page, please go and subscribe to my page. If you have not yet subscribed to my page, go and subscribe. And also, after watching this video, leave me a comment. I want to read from you guys, okay? I want to see your comments. What do you guys think about it? Let me know. So thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.